Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I'm creating a card with Waterfront stamp set. This is a brilliant stamp set in the 2018 Occasions catalog from Stampin' Up. The images that are in this stamp set allow to create a watercolor scene. The images are concentrated little dots and pigment pieces that build together a very natural look. You can stamp them and leave them as is, or use an aqua painter to muddle things in the images a bit and get a more natural look. I'm muddling them up just a little bit today because I want to go into the project knowing that this is definitely going to be a very loose looking finished image. It is my first play with this stamp set, so taking the pressure off of myself and just seeing what I can do with the stamp set is one of the things that I most like to try whenever I'm using a new product. As you can see, there's a different look that comes with a second generation of ink. That happens with most images, but with the images in this stamp set, that second generation really makes an impact. I'm very impressed with the way this stamp set is designed. It's so easy to create a scene, to create a look of a painting that I might not be able to make on my own. So this is a joy to me to be able to work with. I'm thinking that there are so many ways that I can use this stamp set, not just for a mountain scene, but I'm thinking deserts as well. I'm stamping the images in my regular standard dye ink onto watercolor paper. Some of the stamps I'm not really sure exactly how I'd like to have them featured in the project, such as this cluster of dots, so I decided to add it as part of the sky. The dots are not really a natural look to the sky unless you consider it to be rain or maybe just part of a cloudy day, so I'm muddling them up as much as I can and seeing what the stamp will allow me to do. I am giving a very generous pressure to the barrel of the aqua painter, so I'm using lots of fluid to dilute the ink of the top of the paper. Going in between all of those stamped images, I don't have to be too careful because I'm going for a definite muddled, messy look. But I'm adding some gray tones in between. I want this to mimic more or less a nighttime scene. I'm using some muted colors, nothing too warm and bright, and I'm adding a little tiny bit of a shadow to the right side of most of the images. I'm going to stamp the image of the moon, or it could be a sun, but in my project today it's a moon, and it's going to shine from the left to the right, so my natural shadow would fall to the right hand side of each object. Without going directly to embossing the little circle, I chose to add it to the project in gray and then take the chalk marker and go over that, and it worked perfectly. The chalk marker is a little bit more of a pigment, and it sits on top of the color that's already there to lighten it up considerably. I'm using another panel of watercolor paper and the Night of Navy ink to use to feature some small squares. Going into the project, I did know that I was going to use little die-cut squares in the design. That also helped to take the pressure off of me, knowing that very small areas of a picture scene are going to be less of, let's just say, I don't have to be as perfect in the overall project. So knowing what my design is going to look like, it helped me out considerably. This is a very easy card to duplicate that you can use any way with the scenery stamps and put them in any orientation. I use them in a vertical type of design, but you can certainly feature a panel turned the opposite direction in landscape mode, and that would be really nice. There are so many possibilities that I'm imagining using this stamp set. I'm adding a heat embossed sentiment onto basic gray cardstock, and I'll attach this to a basic black card base. There's not a lot of bright tones to the project. I wanted the finished product to be more masculine, but I am going to add a few of the new epoxy clear and glitter enamel shapes. They are going to add a bit of translucent sparkle, not too much of a sequin because sky cards don't usually carry too many sequins, but those little epoxy shapes that are also in the catalog that are new are just the right touch. And so they'll just add a bit of attention in a couple of different places. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. I hope you like this stamp set, and I would love to see what you have created using this stamp set on your own. Be sure not to miss the exclusive content that I share only with my customers and my team. You can become a customer or join my team by going to my blog at jennystampsup.com. While you're there, you can click Shop Now and make your Stampin' Up! Purchase, or click Join My Team, and you can join my team of stampers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.